But today I'd like to offer you a lesson on and an exploration of forgiveness. So forgiveness. Well, I know it's a big word and it's really loaded. And what in the world does that have to do with conscious creativity? Well, first let me say why I'm inspired to talk about forgiveness today. So I am a student of A Course in Miracles. Maybe many of you have heard of that. If you know who Marianne Williamson is, shout out Marianne Williamson 2020. She's running for president. She's amazing. She's like an angel. Check her out if you don't know who she is. Even if you support someone else, it's still just good to hear what she has to say. So she teaches lessons from A Course in Miracles, and I'm part of the workbook, and the lesson that I was doing yesterday was all about forgiveness. And so the idea behind A Course in Miracles, it's like a psychological, spiritual, totally inspirational text. And there's a workbook that goes through 365 lessons, ideally one lesson a day. And it completely shifts your consciousness. And yesterday's lesson was on creativity, and it was so powerful, my reflection on it and my meditation on it, that I wanted to offer it back because it has so much to do with conscious creativity. Because we only have so much creative energy, right? And if we have a problem with someone or something or ourselves, or if we're holding a grudge, or if we're really upset, or we're really, you know what I'm talking about. If you're feeling that, that's taking a lot of creative space. That's zapping out a lot of that creative space. Holding a grudge is like a real creative blocker. So the act of forgiveness is using love to transcend fear. So one of the big teachings of A Course in Miracles, which I can get behind, is that you are either doing something from love or from fear. Very simple. Do you choose love or do you choose fear? Do you want to go with love or fear? Do you want to think about love or fear? Do you want to act in love or fear? Do you want to have loving thoughts or fearful thoughts? And so forgiveness comes from love. It's part of that. It is sourced by love. The basis of forgiveness is love. Love is this transcendent, unlimited source that we all have access to. It doesn't mean that we're loving all the time. We're human. We make mistakes, right? But we have access to this unlimited potential of love that can help us do things like forgive. And so forgiveness can bring a bit of peace in your heart, in your life, in your thoughts, in your pain body, so that you actually have more creative space from which to live the life you're meant to lead. Does that make sense? So, okay, just dealing with some stuff. So forgiveness. And forgiveness, again, it comes from this place of love. So as I'm talking, think about maybe, is there someone in your life that you have an issue with? Is there something that's weighing heavy on your heart? Is there something maybe perhaps in your own life that you might need to forgive yourself? We often what we love the most hurts us the most. And so that's kind of an insight to think about, that if you didn't care about someone or something, then it's, or if you don't have anything to forgive, if you don't, then maybe you're not really loving. You can think of it like that. It's kind of a meta way to think about it, but perhaps there's something in your life that is maybe even keeping you from doing what you know you're meant to be doing. Maybe you've been hurt before doing this one thing, so maybe you've I don't know, always wanted to be a singer. But one time you sang and you got some negative feedback, or you messed up, or it was a horrible experience, and so you can't forgive yourself, or then you start to resent or hold a grudge to the song, to the music. Maybe there is something in your life that you're spending a lot of energy thinking about because it's painful and you're pissed off and it hurts. And so a lot of your creative time is going towards this thing, and it's keeping you from doing what it is that you're meant to do, from living your creative purpose, from living the highest manifestation of your life. So just kind of start to open the pathways up to maybe thinking about what that might be. And I'd like to lead you on a little creative exploration, a little creative journey that will perhaps open some pathways to forgiveness if it is needed in your life right now. Okay? So please take a moment to close your eyes with me now. If you can. If not, just try to get really present. And this is an offering for you to go inward. And we'll be using our imagination, as I said earlier. And we'll be tuning into our own lives. So you will tune into your own life here. And I just ask that you keep an open mind and trust that whatever is coming through is meant to be there. Allow this to just be an exploration, a journey, no strings attached. Take what you want, leave the rest. And so I just want you to tune in to, is there anything in your life right now that could use some forgiveness? Is there anyone in your life right now that has hurt you and you're spending a lot of time thinking about it, and maybe it's driving you mad, or it's making you sad, or it's taking up a lot of mind and heart space? And perhaps thinking about if there's anything that you yourself might feel upset about that you did or didn't do. And so just taking a moment to open the doorways to this first. Perhaps there's something that you've always wanted to do, but you've been hurt before, and so you don't do it. You don't dare to look there again. And so let's take a deep breath in and out. And now I just want you to focus on your heart. So you can take some deep breaths into your heart. Maybe you even want to put your hand on your heart. Actually, as soon as I did this, it just feels really good. It just feels good. To put your hand on your heart and just connect to this heart space, your heart chakra, your heart, which is the source of love, the source of healing, the source of forgiveness. And so first, without needing to think about any of those things that I prompted before, just simply tuning into your heart and activating this source of love. And so even if it's, I don't know, maybe you're getting it from somewhere else, you're getting it from some higher divine source, but allow yourself to just receive love right now, because the truth is it lives within you. That you don't have to go find it, that you merely have to receive it. Open the doors of your heart to receive it. And so we'll just imagine for our purposes today that you and your heart are sourced in love. And so just allow yourself to become activated in love, whatever that means for you. And so using the notion that love will forgive. Love will forgive me. Love will forgive them. Love will forgive it. So taking a moment through this funnel, this lens of love, if you can funnel whatever this is into your heart space, maybe they're the person that you need to forgive so that you can find some peace. Whether that's someone else, or that's yourself, or that's your dream, or something. What might you be able to forgive now through love? Through this higher divine source that's even higher than you, higher than your ego, higher than how you present yourself every day, than how you identify, this divine source of love that you carry, that you have activated right now, using this source and allowing yourself to forgive. To forgive the person, to forgive yourself, to forgive the thing. So I invite you to bring it into your heart and say to yourself, love will forgive you. Love will forgive me. Love will forgive us. Love will forgive it. You might even see them receiving this love. Because hurt people hurt people. Triggered people trigger people. Overwhelmed people overwhelm people. Stressed people stress people out. So through this lens of love, might you also have some compassion and some understanding. Even if it's hard, using that lens of love to just rise higher, to just rise a little bit higher, to see them through the pain. Pained people pain people. We've all been there. We're upset, and so we lash out. We do something bad when we're mad. We act out when we're not feeling seen and heard or loved or valued. We act out, and sometimes not the best ways. And so through this lens of love, might we also find compassion and understanding for that person, for ourselves, for the thing that we might forgive. And perhaps tune into this person or to yourself or to this thing and see how that affects them, that notion of forgiving them, forgiving you, forgiving it. In this way, you are sending love to them, to you, to it. We'll just take a few more breaths here to tune into this, in whatever way it comes, just allowing it to be, again, rising higher, sourced in divine love that's higher than our human crap. And we'll take a deep inhale and exhale. And staying here through this lens of love, I invite you to imagine what is possible with all this creative space that you've made. What is possible when you rise higher and you are sourced in love rather than fear? What would be possible in your life? If the thing that's driving you mad isn't there anymore, if the worries and anxieties, they weren't there anymore, if the grudges, they weren't there anymore, maybe a sense of freedom, a sense of peace, and what would be possible in your creative life then? Think about how you'd be able to spend your time, spend your resources, spend your mind, your heart, how you'd be able to give it, how you'd be able to receive it, because you've created more space. And so how might you use that? You can imagine that you were this like transcendent, loving being all the time, and like, what would you do? How would you use your life? How would your life be different then? And together, let's take a final deep breath in and out. Coming back to this space. I hope that you were able to carve out a little bit of forgiveness, a little bit of love, a little bit more creative space for yourself. Trusting that love can forgive, that through love all is possible, really. And then I invite you to whatever came through for you, whatever insight, maybe it had nothing to do with this theme, maybe it was something else entirely, because sometimes when we quiet and we tune into ourselves, that's when we're able to hear what's like really going on. We're not distracted, we're actually able to hear and feel what's going on with ourselves, and that's how we can become conscious creators, because we know what's going on with ourselves, we know how we feel, we know what we want, we know what's true for us, we know what's right and wrong. So based on that, coming up with one action, one inspired action from this place of truth that you can take today or this week that can allow yourself to create a little bit more space to do the things that you want to do, to make your dreams come true, to live your highest manifestation, to live the life that you're meant to lead. If you're not fulfilled right now, you're not living in alignment with your creative purpose. You know? So if this was interesting to you, for the past several months, I've been in like my creative cave. I'm creating this 12-week long program, this course. But if you go to the link in my bio, and it'll launch soon, and I'll let you know. But if you go to the link in my bio, you can check out it's a freebie download. It's the what is it called? It is a cheat sheet, the Conscious Creative Cheat Sheet, a guide to my 3-step creative process. And it's the second link in my bio, because the program is based on this 3-step structure that I follow, this creative structure that I have followed for all my creative projects and for my creative life. And it's 3 steps that I take, and so I have a little cheat sheet for you that you can do a rundown. If you're creating something, if you need kind of a formula to follow, like how to be more conscious, how to live a more conscious life, how to feel more fulfilled in your creative pursuits, I urge you to go download that cheat sheet, the Conscious Creative Cheat Sheet, a guide to my 3-step creative process that works and that I use for everything. And also, I have a little announcement for my West Coast folks in SoCal. The second feature film I directed, Bite Me, it's a romantic comedy. It's coming to LA this weekend, Saturday, and then Monday and Wednesday. Saturday in Beverly Hills, Monday in North Hollywood, Wednesday in Pasadena. The link is in my bio. If you're here, I'd love for you to come. I'm going to be there doing a Q&A with the writer and lead actress and another one of the lead actresses in the film. Naomi Grossman, who you might know from American Horror Story, she'll be there. And we will have a vampire shindig afterwards, a little reception to follow where you can dress up, come dressed in your vampy best, and it'll be a really fun time. So if you're here in LA, come to my movie. I'd love for you to see it. It's a romantic comedy. It's really fun, and it really sparks a lot of joy and themes around acceptance and love. So come and check it out. Happy week to all of you, and I'll see you next time.